How can you use a lined vertical planner layout? Hey y'all, I'm Elisa, the Scrappy Wife behind ScrappyWife.com, and welcome to my series on how to use all of the different layouts that are out there in planner world. There are so many different layouts and so many different possibilities on how you can use those layouts to really maximize your planner, and I cannot wait to dive into all of them with you. Today we are looking at a lined vertical spread. Here is a lined vertical spread. This is one of the most functional spreads out there, and I can't wait to dive in and show you how I would use this for various parts of my life, hoping that it inspires you to try some new things with your planner. So as always, I will link supplies that I use down in the description box below. Otherwise, let's go. All right, so first let's talk about one of the classic ways we all like to use our planner, and that is to organize our schedule. So I feel like this is a really functional planner in a lot of different ways, and organizing your schedule is certainly one of them. If you are someone that has just a couple things on the schedule each day, maybe you have an appointment or two, maybe a Bible study or a meetup, I would like to use this top box for that. It would give me a chance, an opportunity to write down what is happening on that particular day and keep it organized and at the forefront. Whatever you put at the top of a planner spread is going to be what catches your eye the first. So having this right up at the top, having a box that separates out your schedule is extremely helpful. So I would put bullet points up here. You can use functional boxes as well, but this gives you an opportunity to say, hey, I have 1 p.m. meeting and 6:30 soccer practice. This gives you a chance to highlight those things that are kind of out of the normal zone of your day. Just filling in your schedule, hitting the highlights. Of course, you can probably fit 2 to 3 up here, really hitting those high points. You can also use boxes, like I said earlier, so you can grab some functional boxes. I'm actually pulling from a mega book. This is the Fun Brights mega book from the Happy Planner. I believe there are some regular functional boxes in here. Yes, of course there are. So let's pull some functional boxes. Maybe you're using these to highlight some of your schedule during the day. So you might have a box right here, a little overlap into Friday. Maybe you're starting your Friday with a bang and you have 8 a.m. dentist. Woo woo. All right. And then maybe Thursday, 8 p.m. Zoom call. So again, you're highlighting your schedule on those particular days. One of the other ways that I think this happens to be extremely functional is that you can turn this into an hourly layout. So maybe you are busy with the work schedule. Maybe your work schedule fluctuates. I like to come over here, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 1, 2, 3. So maybe I'm working 7 a.m. to 3 and I'm wanting to block off some different parts of my schedule. So I can come in here and I can say, hey, the gym is from 7 to 8. I'm showing up at 9. I have a work 9 to 12, school, meeting at 1, and pick up kids at 3. Maybe you're blocking off your day like that. You could come over here, same thing, and change it up a little bit. Maybe you need longer in the day. So you have 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's kind of how my schedule goes. So I might have gymnastics right here, blocked off until 8. I might have soccer coming here. All right, pick up kids, lunch meeting, coaching. This allows me to kind of time block my schedule so I can see how my day flows. And what I love about the lined vertical as opposed to a regular hourly layout is that you can adjust the times as needed to work for you. Maybe your day doesn't start at 7. Maybe your day starts at 5 a.m. Maybe your day starts at 10 a.m. That way you can kind of adjust as needed, and you could change the times for each day, especially if you have a fluctuating work schedule. Then that can be really helpful for you. So this is a really organized way to keep track of your schedule, of your regular kind of planner central things. The other primary way that I use my planner is to track all of my tasks, all of my to-dos, all the things that have got to get done during the week. And the line vertical is perfect for that because it looks like a big old list. So you can start out with a sidebar sticker. This one is meant for tracking your meals and your meal planning. So I love that because I love to have an idea of what is happening in a particular week. So I would have this right over here, ready to go. For me, I might actually divide this up in some different ways. So let me grab my marker. I might have different sections. So I would easily make some lists. I'd probably, if I were using this for a task-oriented thing, I'd probably have my schedule up top. And maybe I'm trying to accomplish certain things. So I would draw a line right in here, and then maybe a line right here. And I would label some of these different sections. So let's take a look at how we can do that. Let me find some smaller boxes in here. Here we go. Okay, so I might have it labeled like this. We might put a label here, and this might be labeled home. So these are the home tasks that I need done each day. Maybe this one is work. Have that one right in here. And maybe this one is personal. So this gives me an opportunity to fill in each day. Let me label this one personal. For instance, every day I like to have a chore, a task that needs to get done. So I might come in, actually, let's continue this as we kind of work through the week. I'm going to go ahead and add the lines over on this side to check this out. So we can see how it's dividing up our different tasks through the week. Of course, you can just have one big to-do list each day. For me, it can be really helpful to divide it up and to know what's happening in each part of my life because I like to kind of time block. So on Mondays, I do the bathrooms, clean the bathrooms. Tuesday is dusting. Wednesday is kitchen. Thursday is floors. Friday is outdoors. Saturday is also outdoors. And Sunday is probably rest. Then I would come in and I would add laundry on each day. And I would probably put Sunday or Saturday, clean garage. Okay, I might put grocery store. Fill up car. Just the different things that need to get done just to keep me on track during the week. Then for work, I might have different work tasks. For me, that looks like some different things. So Mondays are probably planning, pretty much everyday film / edit. These are the work tasks. These are combining some different things that might need to get done during the week. I might have Patreon posts on this day, shipping, pre-planning, different things like that. And then personal, I'm most likely to have some basic habit trackers here. So for me, that's probably going to be run. It's going to be quiet time and self-care. Maybe I'm tracking what I'm reading. I could even have that right here. Reading. Am I reading this week? Tracking all the way through. So there's different ways to track your tasks. I love it. I love kind of dividing it up like this. Makes it really easy. And I love that you can personalize what these different categories are. Maybe you have them for different kids. Maybe you're tracking the chores for different kids. Lots of different ways to track your tasks in the lined vertical. All right, let's talk about using the lined vertical for your wellness and fitness. This is actually a style, a layout that I did use for wellness and fitness for a long time, and I loved it. So here is how I liked to use it in this way. First of all, this top section right here, I often used for tracking exercise. So I might have had a little inspiring moment up here. I love words in my planner, especially a wellness and fitness planner. I think it's nice to have that little extra inspo. So I would probably add something up at the top, and then I would keep track of what movement I did on that particular day up here. So I'm going to go ahead and bring in some of these little icons. This one maybe was a running day. Maybe I did weights on a different day, or kettlebell. Is this a kettlebell? Yeah. Just tracking it in some different ways. Maybe another form. We're just going to do a water bottle over here for this one. But tracking my exercise up here. Then what I liked to do, again, I'm going to bring in my marker, is that I would track my breakfast, lunch, and dinner, just to try to keep track of what I was eating so I wouldn't go overboard. You know, you kind of see, oh wait, I didn't feel good that day, and this is what I ate. So it turned out that was food really did kind of have an impact on that. So what I often did was come through and just label this with breakfast, lunch, dinner, snack. So I would keep track of what I ate on those days, and that really helped me stay on top of my fitness, really just being mindful of what was going into my body and what I was doing with my body, how I was moving. That was really, really helpful for me. So using this layout, I love that you can divide it up, because easily you could shift all of these up and have almost like a symptom check-in, a moment of like, hey, I feel really sluggish today. I feel really energized today. This was something positive that happened. I love tracking non-scale victories. So having a moment where you're like, hey, these old pants fit again, or I was able to walk around the block without getting out of breath. Those things you could also track in here if you just push those lines up just a little bit, or maybe you're tracking the wins up here, whatever the case may be. This is a really great layout for looking at your fitness and wellness. This is also a great layout for medical and health functions. So there's some different things. You might need to be tracking medicines, when you're taking them, what days you're taking them, how often you're taking them. You might need to be tracking symptoms that you're experiencing, so that when you go to the doctor, you can let them know that you're experiencing those symptoms. Maybe you have multiple appointments that you're keeping track of. Those are important things to track within your planner. And I feel like this can be really functional for that. So for instance, I would probably, if I were using this strictly for medical health, I would probably use this upper section for appointments, just to make sure that I wasn't losing track of all the things coming up. And I would probably even have like to-dos here. So I might do, if I had it overlapping right here, I might say 9 a.m. doctor appointment, and maybe over here on Friday, I have a 2 p.m. cardiologist. I could probably even track some to-dos in this section as well. So if I grabbed a little bullet point, let's do a different color over here. I might have call ENT doc. Okay, so I might have the to-dos of like making future appointments, or even things like here, check on lab results. So kind of a mix of to-dos. Then down here is where I would probably have more of my symptoms and medical tracking. Now this could be done in a variety of ways. You could just use the lines here. You could grab some of these checklist stickers like this to kind of keep track of what is going on, to track different medicines as you use them. So if I were coming in with my pen, let's fill this out, because if you were, most medicines you're taking like on a daily basis, I would imagine. So let's go ahead and fill out these stickers right here. And one more. Okay, so maybe you are, let's add medicine. I'm into labels. I like all of the different labels. Medicine and medicine. Maybe you have vitamin AM, Tylenol AM, Tylenol PM. Like keeping track of those things, probably vitamins each and every day. Maybe, just all of the different ones that you have that you need to take, you could track, and then you can just check them off just to make sure you are keeping track of what is happening. And then another important thing for a health and medical is just making sure that you are tracking your symptoms is super, super important, so that you have things to talk to the doctor about, so that it can come up, so that it, you know what's going on. So I would have this, labeling it. I probably wouldn't label its symptoms just because I don't like that. I would just do a check-in. Like, how am I feeling on this particular day? What's going on in my body? What do I need to keep track of? What are some questions I have? Those are just some check-in moments that you can use in your planner to help you kind of stay on track of what is going on. So I know we have a lot of caretakers out there. You might be caring for someone else. And this could be a really helpful way to keep track of any of the medical things that you might need to be tracking in your planner. The next use is pretty easy, pretty straightforward, and let me explain it to you. That would be faith and prayer. I used the line vertical layout for a long time for faith and prayer journaling, and loved it to just help me keep on track with all of my faith studies. So I'm just adding, this is unnecessary, but I'm adding a little divider here between the top section and the bottom section as I work my way across the spread. And what I did was I used this primarily for daily faith studies, meaning that I would write the scripture that I was studying on that particular day. So let me just cut this off right here. So what I would end up adding would be probably some bullet points. Let me find them over here. Yeah, these are fun. Okay, so I might have 3 bullet points on a particular day because I would read 3 different sections of scripture. Bringing this in. So perhaps on a day I was reading Psalm 63, John 2, and 1 Samuel 4. Maybe that was what was in my reading plan for that particular day. So I would list out what I was reading up at the top, and then I would take a few notes down here. This would all be open for note taking. Then other things that I liked to add in were sections for prayer lists. So this one, I might have labeled this praying for, and had some prayer lists right there. Bringing in another one. You might have a memory verse for the week. And then a last one. Let's do a different size since I got a little crazy with my spacing over there. I might do something like this. And then have something like faith focus. So in this section, I would probably keep a bulleted list of people, places, things, whatever it is I am praying for, writing out my memory verse for the week. And then faith focus might be something like, hey, I'm focused on the concept. I might just write the word peace right here. Peace is what I want to come back to over and over again. It might be a specific discipline that I'm working on, perhaps doing a fasting, like a fasting time. Maybe I am doing specific prayer journaling, getting up early in the morning for quiet time, whatever my faith focus is, I could write it over there. And then I'm all set for my faith planning for the entire week. All right, let's talk about setting this up for goal planning or habit tracking, which I think is a fabulous way to use this planner, and actually can just be a section of how you plan to use a particular planner. So I'm going to add a little inspiration over there. And then I love, one of my patrons does this, and I think it is such a great idea. She kind of sets up 3 boxes over here for 3 goals during the week. So you can take that, add in your goals for the week. They might be big goals, they might be long-term goals that you are working towards, whatever the case may be. So it might be a habit. Maybe your big one, let's use this pen so it's a little bit easier to see, is drink H2O. That might be a big one that you are working towards. Maybe you're trying to do daily reading. And then maybe you are doing declutter home. Those might be 3 goals, things that you are tracking. What I would do for me, how I like to do it, is I'd probably track that at the bottom of my spread. So I'm going to bring in my trusty ruler again. Going to divide, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm going to do this. We're going to bring this over right here. See how I divided that up? And then I would label each of these little sections. I would probably color code it because I think that that makes sense. So I would do pink, pink, pink. This is me tracking my H2O on each and every day. So I could easily come through. Actually, if I were doing this one, I might do something. I might move this over here. Let me show you how I would track that. Let me just move that little sticker We'll put that one right in the middle, right there. So for H2O tracking, I'd probably come back in with this. And then add in, just divide it up. Like these are my 8 classes a day, 8 cups a day, whatever it is you're tracking. And then I could just literally check them off as I go. So super easy to divide up and use as a habit tracker. So it could just be like check, 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 and see how you do on each particular day. On the other ones, I could bring in my same color. So again, I'm going to color coordinate. We're going to add our 3 bullet points like this. 1, 2, and 3. And I would come in and add in 30 minutes. That's what I read. And then I could write the title of what it is that I read. And then I could set my goal. So those are kind of tracking ones. I could set a goal. Let's add purple down here. And for instance, I could just plan out like, where am I doing my decluttering on that particular day? This is the goal setting part. Is that I'm going to come in here, and this one might be front closet, kitchen, junk drawer, and refrigerator. So there, I still have a lot of room to use the rest of my planner for other things, but I am able to easily track some goals that I am working on. Works so well. All of these lines just make it really easy to organize those thoughts. All right, let's talk about how to use this for budget planning. So budget planning is not something that I spend a lot of time doing. We use some different systems for budget planning and finances in my household, but it's certainly something that you can use your planner for. So let me just add this one right here at the bottom. That's my very busy. So I would probably do something like tracking income here in the top section. So maybe Friday would be payday. Yay, payday. That's something I would track. I might do my regular bills. So things that I know are coming out, I might track those as well. So I might, have something right here that says water bill due. And then maybe something else that is credit card. Something like that, where I know the bills are coming up. And then I would probably want to track spending of some sort. So if I were using this partial for finances, I might just list out my spending. So I could do a label of some sort. Let me look and see what I got available in here. Well, geez, I could even do something like this. If you were adding this in to your planner and you were using it to track some spending on a particular day. So maybe you had Amazon, eating out, and what else? And a Target run. So you're just tracking some of those expenses. That could be something you could easily track here in list form. Here, I would probably keep track of some of my overall categories. So savings, what did I move to savings at the end of the week? What was my home budget? What did I spend on eating out? What did I spend on planning supplies? Just some of those things. And then unexpected. there's some different, we all have to refine our own budgets. All of our budgets look different, but you can certainly change this up and make it organized so that you can just see where your spending habits are. I think that's one of the most important parts about getting control of your finances, is starting out by just seeing where is your money actually going in these moments. All right, last but not least, I think this is a fabulous layout for creative journaling. It's just so nice for writing down a few thoughts about what is happening in your world. I love, love, love having a moment for creative journaling in my planner. These are good ones to add in. I generally like to start out with some fun things over here on the side. Just some little inspiring moments, if you will. And maybe one more. I think there's some over here that I could add in. You could also keep a gratitude list on the side. There's some different options for what might fit really nicely. Let's do dream big. That's a good one. Then I like to do at the top a highlight of the day, something good that happened each and every day. So I would probably do some bullet points up there. Let's find some bullet points. Oh, we have our bullet points right here. Let's pull some of these in. So a bullet point for the highlight of the day, the good things that happen. And then what I do is fill in the rest with boxes and with writing and just having fun with all of the decor over on the side. So let's find, I love a good double box in my journaling layouts. So for instance, I would probably add this one right here, and then kind of layer that one on. And then probably one other box. Oh, these would be fun to add in, just for highlights of the day, fun things that are happening. And I fill them in. I like to fill mine in the day after. That's just kind of how my brain works. But these are fun things to fill in just with your thoughts, the little quotes, affirmations, highlights, gratitude, all kinds of creative journaling ideas that you can use these spreads to fill in. All right, as you can see, there are so many different ways to use the lined vertical layout. I hope this gave you a little inspiration on how you might be able to incorporate this layout or use it to change up your planning a little, freshen things up. Let me know down below, have you ever used the lined vertical layout, and what do you like to use it for? What are the pros? What are the cons? Let me know down in the comments below. Love having those discussions with you all. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Consider hitting that subscribe button as well as the bell notification button. Also, let me know down below, what other layout do you want to see me dive into? What other layout are you curious about? I would love to break it down for you and show you how to use it. As always, I have linked all the supplies down below, so be sure to check those out. I want to give a huge shout out to all of my Patreon members. Thank you all so much for your continued support. There's a ton going on over on Patreon, extra content, awesome perks, and a fabulous community. If you would like to join us, you can find info by clicking the link down below. All right, I hope that you have a fabulous day. And as always, keep it creative.